My name is John Laurence. I'm from Australia and I've just completed my Masters of Arts at CalSouthern University. I used to work originally as a child protection worker and I used to do a lot of investigation work in that regard, and then I worked in the field of substitute care. In that sort of field of work, the more you do it, the more you realise how much you don't know, and that started me on my first course of study. As the years rolled by, I became more and more aware of how much I needed to know. So I did an initial degree in psychology with no intention of being a psychologist, just to add to my knowledge base. And then friends and even relatives who are practicing psychologists suggested that I go the next step. So I started to look around. What could I do? What would suit my lifestyle? I needed something that I could do essentially online, on my time. And when I say my time, I've invaded on my family's time as well, but essentially something where I could not let my practice just go down the plug hole. I came across this program. The thing that I found helpful and attractive about doing the program through CalSouthern was that I could pace it. It was about a program that I could structure to suit me. It met those needs. It was competitively priced too. The material that I received from CalSouthern through the various textbooks that were recommended were absolutely first rate. I feel like I've got a resource library now that is enviable, very much so. The mentors themselves, I found probably most of them very, very encouraging and very, very supportive, which was nice. I didn't know what to expect. And especially having not done any study for a number of years, finding people who are supportive, encouraging, and giving you helpful feedback was very much welcomed. I felt a very strong connection after 3 years with the university, and just being able to type in and go online as a student. And when I officially went offline and was no longer a student, it hit me. It was an interesting feeling, and it really showed me how much, even though I was a long way away and I'd never actually physically attended any university, how much a part of CalSouthern I had started to feel. In fact, I had felt. I have to say the experience at CalSouthern was very good, and funnily enough, I miss it now that I've finished. I feel very good about what I've been able to do over the last 3 years in terms of being able to build on my knowledge base and be able to build my confidence levels. And I'm happy to be here. It's a fantastic experience to be standing here in California, ready to receive, I suppose, if I could use this word, the accolades for the work that I've done. It's a fantastic experience. As far as where I'm going with my practice and things like that, I can see already that there are great benefits from the information that I've acquired. I feel like I've got my fingers on so many different areas now. So many possibilities occur to me as I'm looking at different matters. And so I think where I take my practice to, hopefully to a better place in terms of what I've learned through this program. I've learned something else about myself, and that is my ability to commit, and that you're never too old. Here I am, 56 years of age, and yeah, I've done it.